Hey Jen, here is your reading. What I'm going to do is I am going to do with the larger Rider-Waite deck, I'm going to do in relationship readings, I do 3 cards for you and then 3 cards for the significant other in the relationship. And then there will be 2 communication cards or how the energy flows back and forth between the two of you. I may clarify a few things with clarifying cards, we'll see. And then there will be a final outcome. So let me shuffle the cards for one moment. So I'm going to say this as I'm shuffling the cards, the relationship feels familiar, it feels comfortable, but there's a little bit of a heaviness to it. Like there's a push that needs to take place, sometimes there's maybe a struggle or a butting of heads or energies that makes it sort of, I don't want to say unpleasant, but work, let's say that, right? It's not easy. It's not as smooth sailing, but when things are good, I feel like it feels very comfortable and in sync, this relationship. When you guys are on the same like kind of wavelength or path, it feels very familiar. Like there could be even say past life recognition, that kind of a thing. And I know that that's hard to be proven, but the way that the cards come together, they almost feel like they like suck together. If that makes any sense, like it just feels very like like a foot sliding into a shoe. But as I'm shuffling, there's a little bit of pressure, heaviness, arguments, maybe even. That's kind of the shuffle feels kind of strict or restricted in a way, right? But it doesn't feel all bad. The comfortability kind of to me outweighs the the um the heaviness, if that makes sense. All right, so let's get into these cards and see what's going on. Sorry, one moment, I'm getting a message. Okay, now 3 cards for you. Where is Jen at in this connection? Where is Brian with a Y at in this connection? Let's start with your card since you're the one requesting the reading. So your first card out is the Queen of Swords. Ooh. Sometimes the Queen of Swords can seem combative. She is precise. She's logical. She wants an answer. Her hand is outreached, right? Like she's reaching out to this connection, but she also has this sword in the other hand. So like if you reach back in the wrong way, she will cut your fucking hand off. There's a clarity to her, though, right? She wants to cut through the bullshit. She wants logic. She values. Queens are associated with cups and emotions, so you are emotionally connected to this relationship, but you need like firm, logical answers around it. You need truth around it. The Queen of Swords represents truth in a lot of ways too, or um, cutting through the crap, cutting through the bullshit. No need for excuses. She demands it in a way, right? She can come off as a little demanding at times, or maybe a little even oppressive to some people, especially people that might be non-committal or not necessarily pulling their weight. She can seem kind of oppressive. She's not a bad card. It's actually a very level-headed card, but it does come with a certain amount of ability or what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really aggression, but she can be very firm in what she wants, how she wants it. She can kind of sometimes be unmovable if it doesn't meet her logical standards, right? So you might be looking at this relationship through a little bit of a defensive mode, a little bit of a, like focusing on the minute details, the smaller things, and trying to make sense of them. And they may not make sense, like they might not gel both logically and emotionally. I don't know what he's up to because I haven't seen his cards yet, but that's kind of the vibe that she has. There is this idea of the possibility of moving forward into the future with this relationship. It looks like she definitely wants to, by the way that she's positioned, sitting this in this direction. But can the relationship move forward? I don't know yet. I have to look at all the rest of the cards. Does she have a desire to? Yes, but it's like she has requirements, certain set ideas of how things should be, the way that they need to be, and she understands why it is that way. And she's a queen. Queens can be, queen and king cards can be authoritative, but they can also be like demanding. They know what they want, they know what they deserve. So let's go to the second card. The second card is the Magician. This is about powerful action, this card, right? Sorry about the glare from the light. This is a major arcana card. This is like an activation card in a lot of ways. The Magician has access to all four of the elements at his disposal. He's able to make things, out of nothing. This is a card of manifestation. This is a card of seeing the possibilities and really trying to work towards them, feeling like things are very possible. I kind of get a feeling just looking at both of these without seeing Brian's cards yet. I wonder, my feeling is how much are you putting into the relationship versus Brian, right? In the sense that it looks like you're leading with not only a major arcana of the Magician, which is like, let me create this, let me make this happen, I will support this, or I'll go to, any lengths to make magic happen, to make this connection work. And the Queen is constantly kind of processing that logically through thought, through communication. Maybe not the warmest of communication, but still through communication, still trying to make sense of everything. The Magician is about taking action, making things like removing walls, removing obstacles, that sort of a thing. So depending on what his cards are, and when I get down there, these will make more sense to me, I think. But without seeing his cards, I kind of feel like if there's any bridges in the relationship or gaps in the relationship, it looks to me like you're the one that's trying to um, uh, not fix the gaps, but like if there's ever a problem or a mishap or whatever, you're the one that's kind of trying to come in and save the day, right? And there might be a little bit of resentment for that, like with the Queen of Swords here. It's kind of like, why do I have to fix everything all of the time kind of thing? And I don't know if that's correct. You're going to have to let me know, because when I do these live, I usually get yes confirmation. So doing these over video, they're fun because you can watch them over time and there's still information you can get out of them even if you watch them months later. But I don't necessarily get the exact, in the moment confirmation of yes, indeed, that is what's going on. So you'll have to let me know if I'm on or off on this. But I kind of feel like these are two powerful cards of wanting to get shit done, wanting to do it in a really smart, methodical, logical way, wanting to experience the magic and the excitement of the connection, and wanting to create that around it. But I feel like there's a responsibility among these two that automatically kind of say to me, she might be the one that's maybe leading the relationship or guiding the relationship in some way, or hoping that the relationship goes in a certain way, but she can't quite make sense of it. Or she can't, like, I feel like this Queen of Swords could be a little bit, not pissed off, but like, why do I always have to be the one to fix everything is what I'm hearing in my head. Okay, so let's go to your third card. I don't know if that's accurate. We have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so Nine of Swords, also Queen of Swords, right? Swords is the intellect, or the sign of air. It's how we communicate. It's also like the things we think, right? Our thoughts and our communications and relationships. The Nine of Swords, nines are about personal completions. And the Nine of Swords oftentimes signifies nightmares, worries, fears, things of that nature, right? And so when I look at these cards here, I feel like sometimes you're empowered with this Queen here, but it's almost like when you're empowered, you need to, I don't want to say be a bitch, but you really have to take the reins. You will have to push your sort of agenda. You have to make things happen. And the Magician would be about making things happen too, but it's like, I don't know what Brian's cards are yet, so I can't speak to what Brian's doing as of yet, but I wonder if sometimes the Magician is are you putting too much in, or and then you worry about that, or the return that you get on your investment isn't as much as what you feel as though you put in with the other two cards, and that's the worry, the fear, the anxiety in the Nine of Swords, right? Does he really love me? Does he love me at the level that I love him? Are we, really, is he pulling his weight kind of thing, right? And worrying about that, maybe staying up at night, um, thinking about it, not too much, but so much so that it's bringing you stress, worry, and maybe some elements of fear and frustration with the relationship. So I am going to clarify these cards just because we're going to go balls to the walls with this reading. So I'm going to do the clarifiers rather quickly because I usually do 3 on each card. So roll with me here. So on this Queen of Swords, explain this Queen of Swords to me. Give me insight into the Queen of Swords for Jen. What is this Queen of Swords about, Spirit? On the Queen of Swords, we have 8 of Pentacles, hard work, apprenticeship, really trying to work towards something that's solid, real, powerful, focusing again. Remember when I said with this Queen of Swords, sometimes she focuses on the smaller details, trying to make sense of them. This would be that smaller detailed work too. But this is about you really bringing your best foot forward, your best ability to create, and the sort of the special intricate things that kind of only that you know how to do into this relationship. Followed by the Queen of Pentacles. She is a provider. Again, these are like provider cards. Let me see what the next card is. The Queen of Cups. Jesus. This is definitely divine feminine energy. I mean, with 3 out of the 4 queens here, and then we have the 8 of Pentacles, you're bringing your best sort of divine feminine. I don't know if you know about like twin flame soulmate journey stuff and the divine masculine, divine feminine, but it definitely says to me that you're bringing all aspects of your feminine power to this relationship, and you're putting it to good work, right? You are emotionally connected, physically connected, even mentally connected. But I kind of get a feeling that I don't know. I want to look at Brian's cards, but I don't know if it's being returned on the level that you're giving it. These are some powerful. The fact that these 3 ladies have shown up together is a powerful combination of a really sort of, in my opinion, highly intelligent, intuitive, emotional, providing woman that is willing to go the lengths to do the work to make things happen. Okay, let's look at the Magician. What's going on with the Magician? Now with the Magician, we have the Page of Cups, optimism, thinking outside of the box, romance, even like a childlike sort of mentality, not in a bad way, in that more the way that like children know how to dream and imagine. The Magician also being about magic, and the Page of Wands being about magic. It's about kind of removing barriers that are there. Um, how do I want to put this? Like it almost feels like those barriers are there, but you really truly believe that you can be sort of the bridge between them, right? Like that gap that I was talking about. The Page of Cups would indicate that, your emotions, your heart tells you that you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it, if you put your magic to it. The Four of Cups, this would be about holding back, maybe making a decision, some reluctance. The Magician is quite wide open, and so is the Page of Cups. The Four of Cups is maybe there's been a time where you've been hurt in the past, or you've maybe had these feelings of this ability to create change, magical change within your relationships, where it maybe hasn't always worked. And I'm talking about maybe with previous relationships, and that might be also some of the influence here, what you're trying to avoid maybe through this Magician's energy. And then the third card is the Eight of Swords. This is a card of being stuck in our mind. This is right previous to the Nine of Swords. So I'm not kind of surprised that I'm seeing this here because we have this to deal with over here. So I kind of feel like what this is saying to me is you go in and out of believing it's possible, very, very much so at a very deep, like soul-filled, um, emotional level, but then you back off or you panic, you freak out, you think that like I'm wrong, this isn't right, this can't work, I'm gonna get hurt. They're not giving us back what I need. It's that kind of a thing. And you kind of go back and forth, I think, in this energy Let's see what's going on with the Nine of Swords. The key with the Eight of Swords is we're only as stuck in our mind as we allow ourselves to be. And the Four of Cups is about, yes, there's a reluctance or a hold back there, but it's like we, at any point in time, we can stop and make the decision to take the cup, you know, to stop like sort of stalwarting or holding our emotions back or how we feel. And I feel like you know how you feel with this Queen of Cups here. The way that you express it maybe more logically or a little bit kind of, I don't want to say harsh, but more direct with the Queen of Swords as the lead here. And it may get misinterpreted by him. He might see you as being like a bitch or complaining when you're not really. You're telling him about your needs, and your needs are important. These three queens say, you're very clear on who you are and what you need and the value of that, right? But does he see it is the question. And I got to get to his card. So let's see what's on the Nine of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. That can signify new beginnings or trying to build new beginnings, new ideas, especially from a spiritual level. We have the Moon, which would be emotional confusion, which would definitely key into this Nine of Swords. And then we have the Star, which is my favorite card of the deck, and it's associated with Aries, Aquarius. And that's about calm peacefulness, the peacefulness that's within. The way that I see this is that this star to me almost feels like these three queens over here. It's the awareness that you have within yourself and the work that you know how to put into a relationship that can bear results. It takes time, it takes energy, it takes love, effort, compassion, intelligence. Residing in that peace, though, is hard for you to do. There is an opportunity to get beyond this. There is an opportunity to look at things through maybe a new lens. I'm not saying like settle or change what you know to be right, but this Two of Wands indicates there's an opportunity to look at things through a new lens. The Moon would be like maybe the lens isn't so clear right now or so easy to see. But I think that if once you start to look to new beginnings, whatever those new beginnings may be for you, the confusion will sort of maybe come in slightly, but I think that the beyond that is the calmness of the star, the peace and the serenity of the star and the knowing that the star represents, right? So we're letting go of the drama of the Nine of Swords through the depiction or the realization or the stimulation of creating new avenues, opportunities, choices for ourselves, even if it kind of confuses us a little bit, is my feeling. Okay, let's get to Brian's cards. Brian has the Nine of Cups. Now, this is a really nice card, actually. This is kind of like the wishes come true or dreams fulfilled card. But the funny thing is he's got his arms across his chest. He feels like he's not moving anywhere to me. He feels like he's kind of stuck in his ways, stuck in his thoughts. Nine of Cups is not a bad card. It would represent to me that he's emotionally available, but it's kind of like it's about his emotions. Nobody else's. Not about this queen up here, maybe. It's like, I don't know if he needs extra attention or it's always like maybe what Brian wants, not necessarily what Jen wants in the relationship. But that's kind of the feeling that I get from this Nine of Cups is it feels a bit smug um, or self-centered. I'm going to clarify it as I go, just because that might be a little bit quicker. On his Nine of Cups is Three of Cups, celebration, reunion. The Emperor, my way or the highway. Loving, but stern. You can't cut corners with him, and he thinks he knows his shit. And I'll say this Emperor thinks he trumps all three of these queens. Not true necessarily, but he thinks so. He can also be very stuck in his ways. But he's not all bad. The Nine of Cups is not a bad card. And then Justice. Ooh, he doesn't move. He has good qualities. I'm going to say that with the Three of Cups here and the Nine of Cups, but the Nine of Cups also felt like he wasn't moving either. Both of these are seated. Both of these are cards that don't like move. We've got Aries and we've got Libra here. Justice is about truth and about the law, so to speak. This feels to me like in regards to somebody in a relationship, it's like it's my way or the highway. I don't really consider other things than maybe my own happiness. Yes, I can enjoy time with you and we can have a great time at times, but it always kind of comes back to where are my 9 cups? And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But it's just different than how you're doing things up here, where it feels like you're more looking to answers from him to provide for you the nurturing that these queens also provide back. And it's not, it's like he's busy nurturing himself in his own agenda, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way, because the Emperor and the Justice card are very strong, solid cards. But the focus here in this first group is very much about me, is how I feel. And it's powerful. It's like you can't get past it because it's the Emperor and Justice. His middle card, 10 of Cups. Very interesting. Lots of cups. The 10 of Cups is a wonderful card. It's a happy ending card, right? It's emotional, like joy, freedom, all of that, the bigger, greater picture. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not married to him. He's talked to you about marriage, thought about marriage, discusses it, or long-term goals. Explain this 10 of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. That's weird. We have the Devil. And we have the Knight of Wands. I'm going to say this, Jen. When he's in, and he's in like Flynn. Like when he's in, he's all there. He's really present, loving, and kind, and then he withdraws. And there's something about the withdrawal that either scares him or he can't break free of, whether it's a past relationship or a way of upbringing or something. This devil is something he's sort of chained to that he's fighting with, right? He wants this and he sometimes achieves this. We see that here in the Three of Cups also. But he's very self-focused, and this is about him enjoying you and bringing you in or with a family kind of thing. Four of Swords is about pulling backward, going meditative, taking one's own counsel, going silent even, or going dormant, disappearing on you, right? But I think that is about the devil. Um, and then the Knight of Wands is oftentimes associated with Sagittarian energy. He's somebody that rushes in rather passionately, is ready to be of service, wants to fix things for you and take care of everything, but he peters out. He has a tendency to come in strong and fast and hot and heavy, but then does he have the staying power to hold up to this 10 of Cups dream? And I feel like he doesn't necessarily, because this devil sits here. So there's this back and forth of like, I pull away, I deal with my demons, I come rushing back, I want to live in the dream. Right? But then it's like, oh shit, I don't know if I can live in the dream. My fears, my worries, and I'll say this, your fears and worries, your 9 of Swords is far less than his devil. His devil here is something that he is challenged by, dealing with, trying to face. I do believe that he's trying to face it because the Four of Swords is there. But I'm not so sure that sometimes he just doesn't just check out to feel safer. And then once he's safe again, he comes riding back in on the Knight of Wands and wants to talk about the lovely ending or the fairy tale of the 10 of Cups, right? So, and that to the Queen of Swords over here feels probably really false or unattainable or not logical, like by the behavior. And then over here, there's this, yes, there's a sort of a warmth to this, but there's also this kind of strictness. So that's where these two might clash. Let's look at the last card. It's the King of Swords. Oh, Jesus, great. Now, if he gets 3 kings over here, we're fucked. I'm just kidding. So let's see what's going on. Explain the King of Swords. King of Swords, again, similar to the Queen of Swords, is going to want to keep his own logic in place. He's gonna like have his own way of doing things, his own way of communicating, his own way of thinking, He's not going to be very movable from that. Um, he can represent logic, but it might be his own logic. He might be set in his ways. It's not a bad thing. He's a good thinker. Sometimes he may even overthink things, right? Give too much attention to certain situations. Let's see what's going on with him. I don't feel like he's as, what's the word, as aggressive. This is not aggressive, but I feel like she has the option to give you her hand or chop your hand off. Where this guy here says, yeah, I appreciate who you are. I appreciate what you know. I appreciate what you give, but it kind of scares me. Like where he is tough, or he's like the king of war, she's the queen of war, and she's almost a little bit more unpredictable. So it's a little bit like he might hide behind what he thinks he knows to be true and not be willing to change that either. We have the Queen of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. So he has two knights, both of the more impulsive knights of the deck, in my opinion. The Knight of Swords oftentimes jumps to conclusions. The Three of Swords is about past heartache. And the Queen of Wands would be a little bit about manipulation. Not necessarily always in a bad way, but she has a connection to spirit, and she's about like knowing the rules so she can break them, in my opinion. When I look at this, I kind of feel like I don't know your history with this person, but I don't know if you two have broken up in the past before and you're back together, or he's had bad breakups. This Devil Three of Swords thing is the thing that kind of fucks with him. It kind of holds him back. And then the way that he keeps control is like through this King of Swords, Justice, um, uh, uh, Emperor card, right? He kind of like sets the boundaries real tight. So like nobody can do that to him again. Um, and it makes me kind of feel like it could be you only because of your Four of Cups up here. Like maybe you guys had a bad breakup at one point, and that's some of the Eight of Swords too, is it's like feeling restricted in what you might be able to do or say for fear of recreating a situation that has happened in the past. He's feeling it too though, or he's like, it's under the surface for him also. Now these are how you communicate. This is the energy that's flowing between you two. The Star, not mad at her. And the Page of Cups, not mad at him. These are my two favorite cards of the deck. I want to say this, even though there might be some strict rules or ideas that you guys think that you have, there may even be worries about things in the past, whether it's from your relationship or other relationships you both have previously been in, like baggage we carry into the relationship. I feel like there is this desire between both of you, because it's hard to almost tell. I feel like this Page of Cups might be coming from him towards you, and you're the Star towards him. But both of these are very loving and kind. They're soft. This is almost even a playful energy. This is a very soft, caring, kind energy. Both are like sort of circulating around together. It's almost like, they could be doing this motion, right? So I feel like I want to say that the communication between you two, even if maybe you butt heads at times, is actually really good. It's respectful, I hope. If I'm off on that, I don't know what these cards are then, because these are really beautiful, soft, lovely cards for communication cards and how you would be transpiring things. The only thing that I would say is that this card, although he's a lovely card, he can sometimes be about magical thinking that seems sort of impossible, right? And so, I feel that that's why this energy is going up towards you, is this here. I feel like he tries to sell you on this happy ending that you can't quite get to because he retracts or pulls back from time to time, because there's things he hasn't dealt with yet that he's either in the process of dealing with or is afraid to look at. He's trying. He rides in to face that devil, and then he hightails it right back out of there, is how it feels to me, maybe. Um, that doesn't mean that it's not possible for him to shift that. He's trying to find the answer. I really think with this, also with this Knight of Swords over here, it feels like he's trying to make an effort. He's trying to make a change, but he's got some hurt. He's got some history, some addictions, or I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know him at all, but like this could be something as simple as like alcoholism, porn addiction, ex-girlfriends, bad ex-girlfriends that he's not, fully over yet. And I'm not saying that he still loves them. They're actually kind of a pain in his ass because it's the devil, right? It's not something that's pleasant for him. It's something that stresses him out and scares the shit out of him. But he's at 9 of Cups, but he protects the 9 cups, but he wants the 10 cups. And I think he's offering it to you through the Page of Cups, but it doesn't maybe feel palpable or real to you because the Queen and the Magician and all of them are like, let's do this. Like, you know what I mean? They know that they can achieve this, but there's like this. Like, I almost feel like his cards say he only knows how to sort of keep his own life together, and maybe he only learned that recently, or in the last few relationships or years or whatever. He has gotten good at keeping, like, say, maybe his own boundaries in place, even if that means that he ghosts people or disappears on them or pulls back completely and stops communication. For him, that's like the right thing to do to maintain his 9 cups. It's not something that he's doing to harm you or hurt you. It's something that he's doing to kind of maintain his security because he does have some fucking ghosts that haunt him. I'm just going to be honest. Now let's shuffle for a potential outcome. Now, potential outcomes are always sort of like just maybe where things may go, barring that nothing major changes, right? I can't predict free will. We all can make choices and changes in our lives that greatly affect outcomes. But if this card is negative, we can take it as a warning and then make choices and changes in our life that allow us to go a different route. And your outcome is 7 of Wands, and it's a fighting card. 7 of Wands oftentimes is about defending one's position. And I did feel like there was some sort of like knocking of heads in the shuffle, and I feel like that Queen is not getting what she wants. It's almost like the Queen is being answered with the Page, who's like a little too playful, a little too youthful, a little too not so serious. But the only way that he can be serious, or the only way that he can enter in like happy and experience the 3 of Cups with you, is by bringing this energy. Everything else, it feels like he wants more with you, but he doesn't know how to get there because he's got other stuff that probably doesn't have anything to do with you. It may or it may not. This 3 of Swords and this devil that he's still got under the surface that he has to contend with, that he has to fight with, that he has to sort out before he's kind of ready, if that makes sense. I'm just going to clarify the 7 of Wands just because I'm nosy. 7 of Wands, though, does depict a victory, but it's a victory through, like, having to fight, maintain one's boundaries, one's beliefs, or, fight for what one believes in. And with those 3 queens, you certainly, and the Magician and all of that, you certainly have the power to do so. Whether or not he shows up and fights his own demons is another question. This, to me, feels more like you two fighting amongst each other for, I don't know. I think it's power in the relationship because we have the Emperor and the Justice card down here. It's like one of you has an idea of which way you think we should be, and the other one has a different idea. We have the Ace of Swords. I like that because that's clarity. That's new beginnings, new thought, and new communication. We have the 6 of Cups. I love that. That can often indicate past life soulmates. It also is nostalgia, family, and what's important about that, the warm feelings that come with that. And then we have the 3 of Wands, which would be this 2 of Wands over here about like thinking about new beginnings. This is about like waiting in expectation of them to come. So this Seven of Wands period right now that you might be getting ready to experience where it feels like a clash, I feel like it is not going to last long. I feel like there will be new opportunities for communication and thought for both of you, maybe, and that the focus will be on the love that the two of you share or the connection that the two of you share ultimately. You guys should, ideally, with that Three of Wands, take that connection into the future or be focused on where you guys can go and build upon rather than be stuck in the past and what maybe has been done or said or whatever, whether it's within your relationship or previous relationships that both of you have been in. I will say this, I don't feel as though you're as stuck in the past as he is. You feel more future minded in all of this than he does. You do feel worried to me, especially with that 9 and that 8 of Swords, but you're not letting that worry get in your way with those 3 queens and with this star energy both here and here. You are trying to maintain peace and stay centered and kind of like connect to the wisdom that is within and bring that to the relationship. With him, I really think he's actually a good guy. He's got a lot of real strong traits and qualities. He's like kind of like a man's man in a way to me, especially with these 2 knights, the king, justice, and the emperor. Even though these are my way or the highway to me, they feel there's a strength to him and a truth to him that makes me feel like he's an honest, good guy. I just feel like he's got some past hurt, hidden, I don't want to say hidden secrets because then I don't want to freak you out because I don't feel like it's hidden. This is about something he fears. This is about past pain, relationship past pain and the memory of that. And this is about something he hasn't fully cleared out yet or dealt with or healed. Some fear he has, some insecurity he has, something that destabilizes him greatly in achieving this dream. And he wants this dream. He wants this happily ever after. He's real close to it, in my opinion. He just doesn't know how to like let somebody else in to enjoy it with him without fear of them like smashing his 9 cups and he has to start all over again. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. So instead he puts up a little bit of a wall here, a wall of authority or a wall of like, no, this is what I know to be true. And then if you don't buy into that, and this is the other thing too, I'll say with all of these queens and the cards that you have up here, I think he does really respect you, especially with this king down here. And he has the 4th queen down here, actually. Now that I think about it, didn't even dawn on me, but the 4th queen in this smaller deck is down here. He's got like the piece that you're missing up there, but there's a respect and an admiration that I think he does have for you that is genuine and true. And I like that. I just think that there's some work he needs to do, and there's work that you need to do, right? There's some worry stuff and some confusion and things like that. But I think that you're more able or capable to pivot and go into a place of peace and kind of try and bring that into the communication between the two of you. And he brings something sort of peaceful, but it's not as solid or as substantial as maybe what you're bringing. And I think that might be what instills the fear in you, because you're like, am I overinvested in this, or am I doing too much? Am I trying to make too many ends meet to make this connection happen? He keeps retreating, or he keeps not agreeing with me, or whatever it is, however it's playing out. But I do think with this outcome, yes, there's a few more clashes to be had with that 7 of Wands. But in those clashes, if you guys continue to respect and adore one another, which I think that you do mutually, you will find a new way to communicate. You will find a new way to see this relationship or think about this relationship. And you'll understand the importance of this relationship to a degree that brings you into a place where that communication can flow more easily and you can both grow together and look to new horizons for, new opportunities. I hope that makes sense, Jen. Let me know, send me a message and just let me know if any of it makes sense. I always ask people when I videotape for them. They love when I do them this way, but I never ever know because I don't have the yeses. So please let me know what you think because I'm always interested to know. You'll have this video for a year and only those that you give the link out to will be able to see it. So it's completely private. It's on an unlisted list on my YouTube channel so people can't see it from the public. If you ever want another one, always reach out, let your friends know about it, give the video a like, and let me know how everything works out. I'm interested to see how this goes. It looks like there's a bit of possibility here, like even more than a bit of possibility. It just like needs some fine tuning. And again, thank you so much for reaching out for the reading. I appreciate each and every one of you that does and that watches and all of that sort of stuff. Have a great day, dear, and let me know. You know, is this him? Do I have the right Brian? I think I do. All right, take care. Bye bye.